and welcome to Policing TV. I'm delighted this morning to be joined by Dr. Amanda Davies, who is a senior researcher at Charles Sturt University in Australia and a distinguished visiting fellow at the Home Team Academy in Singapore, and previously the Rabdan Academy in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, program chair for direct policing and security. Amanda, I trust I've got that introduction correct. In terms of accuracy, in terms of completeness, there's much, much more. But in terms of accuracy, that summarizes your background over roughly the last 10 years, I hope.
Thank you, Bernard. Yes, absolutely correct. Thank you.
So we're going to aim to divide this conversation into three elements. Something on the past, so including your work with Rabdan and elsewhere. Something about the present. You're working on a piece of work for the Oxford University Press, OUP, a special issue on simulation-based learning for police education, and then something about the future, something about the challenges to policing, not just in a particular jurisdiction, but regionally and around the world. So, to make a start, tell us something about your policing career, where you started in your police career, and bring us through that experience that we've already mentioned.
Oh, thank you, Bernard. I'm delighted to be with you today. Interestingly, I remember the date in which I joined the policing community as such was in January the 7th, back in 2002. At Charles Sturt University at the School of Policing at the New South Wales Police Academy, which is in Goulburn in New South Wales, Australia. My career really has been in lecturing and then moving on into a supervisory role regarding curriculum, teaching and faculty, and then on into the role of academic director with the School of Policing. I was with them for 18 years and then had the opportunity and a privilege to move across to Rabdan Academy in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, initially as a one-year secondment. However, that turned into 4 years, 4 very, very exciting, quite challenging years, but I can only say that it was a very worthwhile and professionally and personally rewarding experience. Somewhat different, as you could appreciate, from the Australian environment. And would you like me to talk about that role and Rabdan Academy?
It was fascinating. We met at Rabdan Academy in Abu Dhabi some years ago. We were talking pre-recording about when it might have been, but roughly I think it was 2019. And I know also from my personal experience that working in the UAE and in the Gulf is absolutely fascinating. It has its challenges. There are some cultural differences, for example, that it takes some time to get used to. But please, yes, tell us about that Rabdan experience, and then we'll move forward from there.
Thank you, Bernard. The Rabdan experience was certainly very different to that which I had had in Australia, and mainly because the faculty are comprised of both national Emirati officers and lecturers, but also a very significant proportion of international experts that come into Rabdan to assist with building the knowledge and skills. Our responsibility was particularly focused on police officers and delivering the bachelor programs, and then we developed a master's program in police leadership. Interestingly, I was unprepared for the level of investment in education that occurs with Abu Dhabi Police, for example. And I can very vividly recall one of the first meetings that I went to with Abu Dhabi Police. And in that room, all of those officers had attained a master's or a PhD, generally from international universities. And so that their knowledge and their ability to benchmark the work that we were doing at Rabdan and the work that is done for Abu Dhabi Police was very much current and very timely. So that was certainly a very interesting perspective, and we worked very closely with Abu Dhabi Police to ensure that not only were we providing fundamental policing knowledge and skills, but also looking to the future and the preparing those officers for the future of policing, which, as we all know around the world, has changed significantly and been particularly impacted by the coronavirus.
It's worth saying here something about Rabdan, actually, because those viewing this may not appreciate the place that Rabdan University has within the Abu Dhabi Emirate and within the wider UAE. Rabdan was a favorite horse of the founder of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, and hence the name. And it provides training, policing and security related training for young Emirati, does it not? You've described some of the young Emirati there. Abu Dhabi Police, for example, made up of generally mid-ranking and senior officers who are themselves Emirati, and then less senior officers, junior officers that are drawn in from across the Arab-speaking world. So Rabdan Academy has a very significant and important place in Emirati society, does it not?
Oh, certainly, Bernard. And it's important to just note that the education at Rabdan Academy is more in the theoretical side. So we're talking about bachelor programs, master's programs, certainly vocational programs on one side of Rabdan's work with not just Abu Dhabi Police, but international police organisations also. They do not deliver the, if you like, the physical training for police officers and others. It's restricted purely to the, as I say, the more theoretical. That does not mean to say that they do not simulate exercises, etc., that might be valuable for preparing their officers. However, not the physical ones that they would be using, such as your weapons and control exercises. Certainly, they include crime scene investigation, and that's done in a simulated environment. At Rabdan and with their partners at Abu Dhabi Police. Yes. So a little bit different from other potential police academies around the world, where it is both the theoretical and the physical that are taught.
And then moving from there to back to Charles Sturt University, and also taking on a role at the Home Team Academy at Singapore. Tell us something about that move back to Charles Sturt and the role that you took on in Singapore.
I moved back to Charles Sturt University after the 4 very exciting and wonderful years in Abu Dhabi. And in that role, I was essentially concentrating on research and research publication and building forward the capability and capacity of the staff at the academy in terms of their research productivity. But also I was involved in a small way with curriculum development also with the academy as they continuously improve the content of what they are delivering to their police recruits. In Goulburn, it is very much police recruits in terms of both theoretical and physical training. The Singapore connection came, interestingly, from my original PhD study. My PhD study had been in the use of simulation to develop the professional identity and decision-making capability of senior police officers, and also decision-making capabilities of new police recruits. Here on one side, it was about incident command management for potential superintendents and commanders. And on the other half of it was about the decisions around shoot, don't shoot scenarios for the police recruits, both of which were using a different simulation platform. The Singapore police had not yet developed simulation as part of their approach to delivery of education, and they utilised the work in my PhD to develop their initial simulation platform with the assistance from Coventry University. And this is situated within the Home Team Academy in Singapore. And I was invited to participate as a keynote for their anniversary, the 16th anniversary, and also to continue participation in relation to their use of simulation tools for delivery of education, not only to their police recruits, but also to their officers in the field. And it's been a very interesting and very professionally rewarding partnership with Singapore.
Well, you mentioned very much there the simulation-based learning, and we're going to come on to that in the second video, which we'll move on to in just a moment. An absolutely fascinating policing academia-related background that you have there, Amanda, spanning several continents and jurisdictions. And I'd love for Policing TV and potentially Policing Insights to further pick up on those elements that you have experience on. But for the time being, on this first video, thank you so much. We'll come on to video 2 and video 3 in just a moment. For the time being, though,
Thank you,
thank
Bernard.
you very much.